Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Mindless One Build-A-Figure Wave Marvel Knights Daredevil. This, I thought, was going to be a really good figure. The Elektra that goes with it that came out in this, I think it was this wave. Was it this wave? No. She came out in a different wave. Anyway, I thought they would be very good figures. She was really, really solid. This guy, lots of new parts, maybe entirely new parts. I'm not sure about the shoulders. Maybe the biceps are reused, that kind of thing, but it's largely a new figure. So it should be top of the line Marvel Legends pinnacle, cream of the crop, creme de la creme. Is that the saying, creme de la creme? Anyway, it should be a really good figure. We're going to find out if it is. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, before we get into the figure, we have to take a look at my package. Basic Marvel Legends packaging. I do think the Marvel Knights packaging is nice. For whatever reason, the coloring just works. It's good. Some artwork there to show you what he kind of looks like. Some more on the side. Other side, same exact artwork. Is that the same thing just without the hands? It is. That's the exact same image as that, just without the hands. Ha! So I think what Hasbro does is they commission the artwork for the packaging. Most of the time, I don't think they steal comic images too often, unless they don't do that anymore. They might not, I don't know. But either way, it looks like whoever drew this just erased the hands for this image. It is the same. Okay, anyway, there you go. All right, packaging done. Let's look at the figure. This guy stands just about 6 3/8 inches. That's going to make him roughly, call it 16.5 centimeters. Here he is up against a good old Darwin, who just ever so slightly edges him out for height. All right, question of the day. Do you like this look for Daredevil? I do, mostly. I don't like the open face with the beard showing. I know Daredevil often has an open face, that's fine. I don't like the beard and hair sticking out as much. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so basically a new sculpt. They really should have no reason to not just nail this. Just really, really nail it. I have bad news. They didn't. They did some things well. I think overall the proportioning is better. I think it's a lot better. We're going to see as we go, because I haven't really looked at it too closely, but it looks like things are pretty much where they belong. He's a little bit more slender than I think he should be for this version of him, but it still looks pretty good. As far as paint, well no, let's do molded plastics first. Stands out very obviously to me in real life. I don't know about on camera, but this red here does not match this red here, and it should. This should all be one same thing, so that's not good. The D's painted on his chest are pretty clean. No real problem there. Here's the thing I need to point out, because this goes to show how Hasbro doesn't think about what they're making. His ab crunch, because we're still using an ab crunch, is just inside the red, which means there needs to be paint right there. You know what? Move the ab crunch out. If you can't, in your sculpt, squeak that red part in just a little bit, move the ab crunch out. Widen the ab crunch, and it would be hidden. Right here, it makes it even more obvious. If you had it just being the red part was ab crunch and the black part was the outside, it'd be perfectly hidden. Nope. Can't do it. Instead, they make it harder for themselves and make it worse. What the heck? Alright, onto his belt. We have a little bit of paint right there on the buckle. That's fine, I guess. Painted arms look terrible. They're glossy, even though they're wraps. They shouldn't be glossy, and they're painted very poorly. I don't know how well it's going to show up because of the gloss. It might be hard to see, but there's a lot of black poking through, so that's kind of annoying. Also, they don't match the hands because they're glossy and a different color red than the hands. So that's a thing. I guess this version of him does have red gloves under the wraps, which is kind of weird, but they have his fingernails on there. I guess he's wearing very, very thin gloves. I don't know. All right, moving on to his pants. We have very glossy legs and not a glossy crotch at all. This is a matte finish. These are damn near semi-gloss, like very shiny. Different color also. I know it's dark, so it's probably hard to tell on camera, but it's got like a brownish tinge to it for all of the black, but this is much lighter than this. And of course the glossiness helps make them look different, but they don't match, all right? So that's a thing. And then this part is a little bit less shiny, but it is still the same color throughout, so it just looks very cheap. And we haven't gotten to the worst part. Unfortunately, Hasbro's been doing this thing where they make the faces look super realistic. Except for this one. Why? This looks like it's made out of melted crayons and then colored with the crayons. Like, it's so bad. I'm sure the sculpt is technically nice underneath all of that garbage paint. What the heck? What the heck is that face? Under the mask, of course, the face part, the beard and mouth and cheeks, not the mask. The mask looks fine, but I mean, I can't tell for sure because of the paint, but the sculpt even looks a little bit soft, but that paint is just outright disgusting. That's bad. That looks really, really bad. So, unfortunately, this figure that is all new, I hope the articulation's good, though I don't have high hopes. It's not particularly good. And by the way, even if he's supposed to be more lean, more slender, his arms are very thin. I mean, I think Darwin might even have more muscle. He does. Darwin's got a little bit more bulk going on. So yeah, I don't think this is a winner so far. Proportioning looks nice. The silhouette's not bad from the front, but it's not really what it should be for a brand new figure. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's fine for Hasbro. All right, for accessories, we do have his separatable nightstick, which is reused about 1,000 times. It goes in the way oversized pouch that goes on his waist. That's fine. And then we have the bladed stick of doom. I think that's what the official name is. It actually isn't bad for a Hasbro accessory. There's no paint on it other than, is the silver painted? Yeah, it is. So that looks good. I was going to say it might just be separate pieces pegged on, but it's not. It's painted. And the silver looks nice. So that's fine. It's a better accessory than we usually get. But that's it. We get the 2 rubber sticks and then we get the 1 bladed stick, which is nice. So 2 out of 10. Until they start to include fists for somebody who fights, screw them. This is bull. This is the lamest assortment of accessories. The one weapon is nice, the other weapon is so not. And then no hands. What the heck? All right, on to the articulation. It better be good. It's a brand new everything, I think. I do believe these are new arms too, but even if they have been reused, they're relatively new. So let's see, the head. So, okay, so he does have the thing here on his neck, and he does have the hair and beard, but they did nothing to account for said obstacles. Like, nothing. They didn't even, like, you could have floofed the hair a little bit, or moved this back a little. You could have done something. He can rotate his head. That's it. That's it. Okay, shoulders. You got your full rotation, that's fine. They go up to just horizontal and stop. Okay. Bicep swivel is fine. That's a weird sound for a Hasbro figure. Do you hear that? I think you can hear that when I put it up by the mic. They might be using a new PVC. That's interesting. Okay, elbows. Elbows function. Not the best looking thing in the world. They have that extra extendy nature so that when you bend them, they don't touch, which gives you better range, but it does disjoint the elbow. So it's not my favorite thing. I would much rather, when you bend it, I would rather have slightly less range, which is pretty much natural anyway, because humans can't actually fold their arms 180 degrees like that and not have that weird gap. That's a very tiny thing, but it is worth noting on a brand new sculpt, they're doing weird stuff like that. All right, for the wrists, we get our swivel and our hinge. It is the wrong hinge on both hands. We only get the 2 hands, and it's the wrong hinge. All right, okay, floaty belt is floaty. Let's set that down there. Ab crunch on this guy. It does go back functionally, but boy, is that lazy. There is no sculpt work. Just flat. This sticks out down here. This is flat up here. They don't care. They just don't care anymore. Going forward, it's okay. Still no sculpt work, less noticeable on the back, but at least it's functional, right? Waist twist is a waist twist. Let's see if these hips work. His legs here are not really any bigger than the Jada Chun-Li. They better have full range. Let's see. They go up to horizontal almost. Not quite, but pretty darn close. I'll take it. Going back, we get just a touch, and going out to the side. What? Just a little bit better than 40. Like, that's plenty. You use both of them. It's going to be enough, but there's no reason he can't do the splits. Other than Hasbro, they're not about that. They're not about making good stuff. All right, thigh swivel is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees are functionally good. They have the same situation as the elbows. We have extra meat in there. You can barely see it, but we have extra meat, so you get the full 180 bend, which is pretty weird. But also, the proportioning, by the way, is just about perfect. That's what helps that silhouette and helps the proportioning for the overall figure is the leg. You want this bone right, this figure, despite it being weirdly broken, having this bend here, it's a perfect example of what you want to have for your proportions. You want to have your shin and foot, this whole chunk, be the same length as this whole chunk, which it is. And that's good. But goodness, this is not a good design. This is about the worst, laziest design for a knee I've ever seen. Look at how flat that is. And then they took this, they didn't even hide it. Like, okay, you could put the joint underneath the bottom bagginess right here. Put the joint underneath that, so that when you bend it, you don't get this. What the heck? Talk about somebody who either doesn't care at all about action figures, doesn't know at all about articulation, or just doesn't get paid enough to give a damn, I guess. It's almost like they're sabotaging themselves. This has to be one of the worst knee joints, aesthetically speaking, that we've seen. This piece right here is just, I don't know if it's being captured as well on camera as it is in person, or as it is noticeable in person. This is just atrociously ugly. Such a shame. And then for the ankles, they go all the way back. Not that far forward. And the ankle rocker is decent, so that's all right. Okay, so his articulation is acceptable. It is underwhelming in some ways, especially the head. Can't really move the head. It's perfectly acceptable in other ways, and in the elbows and knees, overly articulated, which is not necessarily a problem other than aesthetically, so that's okay. I'll give the articulation. It's still only going to get a 7. Hips that don't all the way go all the way out to the side, head that you can't move, shoulders that don't go up better than horizontal for no real reason, wrists that are the wrong joint, knees that are like, there's just so much wrong with it that it just didn't need to be there. Yeah, it's another Hasbro product where they have to make a brand new thing. They should make it as good as it can be. Instead, it's like they're just trying to shove it out the door as fast as they can, and it's not good enough. What's the point of investing in a whole new mold that's not going to be that reusable and then not doing a good job with it? You might as well. All right, whatever. Let me know what you guys think about this sort of thing in the comment section below. Also, they couldn't put any paint there. Like, they couldn't address that at all. It's sculpted, they couldn't do anything. That's one of the problems with using the hard plastic there. You can't paint it. But if you're gonna do that, then at least fudge the sculpt down a little bit. Or do something, because that's not good enough. They're just not good enough. That's all there is to it. So I'm gonna give this guy an overall rating of 6 out of 10. I'm taking a couple points off. I would have done 7. It could have easily been a 9 if they tried, but I'm taking points off for the glossy red here, the messed up articulation, the ugly face, the lack of accessories, no fist hands. Like, what are we doing here? Just, what's the point? Why are we... There's no point in collecting these if they're not good, guys. Just look at the comics if you like the comics that much, because these aren't worth owning, really. The people making them don't give a shit. Anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.